Hey there. Welcome back to my worldmining.net update. So let me start out first by saying this will be the first in this series, and I will tell you what we're going to do with this series after I review what we're starting with. First, let me start out by saying I am not a financial advisor. Do not think that anything that I say here is a recommendation for you to try or do any of this yourself. If you do decide to play along and do this as well or join up for world mining, any gains or losses that you suffer are your own. So just be aware of that. And I do have to say that because honestly, these videos may give somebody the wrong impression. And I am still not 100% sold that this is not a scam or some kind of Ponzi scheme. Although, more I think about it, the less likely I would think that anybody would want to try to start up a Ponzi scheme right now with all the other Ponzi schemes that got busted and are currently suffering for that. So, I don't know why anybody would even dream of trying. But there are all kinds of people out there. So, regardless, if you do sign up and you lose, it is not my fault. Do your own research. I have done plenty of research on this, and even after all of that research, I am still iffy on it, and I am not willing to submit a tremendous amount of actual cash to this. So most of what I'm transferring in here has been stuff from my mining accounts, just to get it started, and then it will be based on a reinvestment. Although I have put some of my actual cash in it, mostly because I want to get to a point where I'm reinvesting in a reasonable period rather than jerking around not being able to reinvest the funds, because making 22 cents a day does not give you a lot of time that it takes to earn the minimums to reinvest. But we covered most of the site in my last video. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you check it. It's a little bit longer than I would have liked to have made it, but I thought I was very comprehensive in going over the things that I thought were positives and negatives about the site, as well as introducing you to the site, so I'm not going to do that again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cover what I did on the site to get started. So right now we have 916 gigahash on server 1. And we have 2.333.33 repeating terahash on server 2. And I think I put 2 points in there, which didn't make a lot of sense, but you can see what I mean by looking at your screen. So I'm not going to go back and correct myself. So I bought this as a partial day last night, so I'm not sure what the actual income is going to be, but I got $3.04 for having 2.3 terahash yesterday. And as you can see, that cost me $350. So that was a contribution to try to get me to the point where I was making at least $5 a day between the two servers, and I did not quite meet that goal. Based on their calculator on their main page, I should have, but it didn't quite work out that way because server 2 actually paid out a little less than what it said it was going to. Even though server 1 paid out a little more, it didn't make up the difference enough. So I came out just slightly shy, I think 72 cents shy of where I wanted to be. So let's go to our spreadsheet. So trailing back to last month, and the spreadsheet will be linked in the description down below if you want to check it out. So if I go too fast, don't worry about it. But you can see we started out with 30 gigahash, went up to 170, went up to 270, and then I've slowly been investing things that I have used by mining, and that's gotten me up to 916 gigahash on server 1. Yesterday, I dropped $350 on server 2 to get this up to a reasonable figure to where we were actually making some money, and that didn't quite pan out like I'd hoped. So we have been making, and I'll go back to, what was last Sunday? Last Sunday was the 3rd. So here's where we'll start. Start out, we were making 403 gigahash, and we were making 54 cents a day. Now, the minimum you can reinvest is $15. So at 54 cents a day, that means we're only going to be able to reinvest about once a month. That's not exactly conducive to increasing our funds, but it was a steady increase. So I contributed $62 of mining income and brought it up to $1.10 a day. That still wasn't where I wanted it to be, so I dropped another 15, and that brought me up to $1.17 a day, or $1.23 a day. And that still wasn't quite where I wanted it to be, so that was why I added the extra money. So this is what we ended up with here. And I have since split the income between the two servers over here. So I have our S1 payout and our S2 payout. If we ever get into the S3, S4, and S5 servers, I'll make columns for those, but I didn't see the point of doing it because in the near future, I don't see that happening. So we are sitting at, with some of the mining income that I've fooled around with mining to their pool, about $14.15. So we're getting ready to roll over $15 tomorrow, and that money will be reinvested in server 1. And then about every 3 days, we will see a reinvestment on server 1. My goal was to kind of max out server 1 and max out server 2 at least, because based on what their, sorry about flipping pages so fast, based on their profit calculator, if I max out server 1, what I'm looking at is about $20 a day, $600 a month, and about a total of $7,200 in the end of the period for having this maxed out at 13.5 terahash. And that's about a $2,000 investment. And if we max out server 2, that'll get us $82.50 a day on top of this, about $2,400 a month on top of this, and about $29,700 at the end of the period. And that's going to be about a $7,500 investment, which could lead us into putting some money into server 3, but I don't think we're going to max it out because maxing out server 3 is about a $15,000 investment. And even though it nets $180 a day and $5,400 a month approximately, I honestly don't have enough faith in this organization yet to drop $15,000 in here. Otherwise I would have, because that's the target that I want to hit for the entire period. Regardless of reinvestment or not, this is about the dollar figure we want to be with. And we're not anywhere close to there. But as you can see, when we go in and try and buy hash, we are slowly eating up our server 1, and we're making good progress in server 2. Eventually, we will make it all the way over, and that's fine. Server 3 takes a $900 minimum investment, but I don't know that we're going to get there based on what we're going to get back out of it. But that's okay. If we don't make it in there, maxing out server 1 and server 2 would definitely get us on the right track. Putting some money into server 3 would do it. Now, let's talk about our goal. And this is the important part, so I hope you stuck around for this, because this is why I want to do and what I want to do with this particular project. And I want to do something that's important to me, but if it doesn't work out, then I'm only out money. I'm not out like a life thing. It's not urgent for me. I'm not trying to buy something huge that's a life requirement. I'm buying something that I want. So I'm setting a goal. And my goal is not retirement income. My goal is not a daily income like some of the people are making, to where they're getting paid out daily for the rest of their lives. So I don't have anything like that. I just have a short-term plan. My 2 Jeeps are getting kind of worn out. So my goal is to make enough to buy a Wrangler. Now, based on how much we make and how this works out, we may end up with anything from a Matchbox car to a new Rubicon. And I know not everybody who watches these videos understands Jeeps and understands that, but anything we get up to that point, and that would be about $50,000, we'll decide what we're going to get. So I'm even leaving it an open goal to take whatever I can out of whatever I can get. And we're going to work to get to a point where we do that. I'm going to finalize it so that I can do that. And then I'm actually going to go out and film buying it and buy a Jeep with Bitcoin. So you get to see the whole process. and follow along on a weekly basis. And then, based on what we get, it's going to determine what the rest of it's going to be for. If we don't reach a point in the future where we can buy a new one, maybe I'll buy a used one, and then we'll take some of the proceeds and actually do some things to fix it up. But I have 2 Jeeps right now, and they are both showing their age. One of them has 300,000 miles on it, and the other one is just old and not really what I wanted. But it does the job. Now, my daily driver has about a year left on it before it's going to be useless. So I got about a year to work on this. So we're going to see where we're at over the course of a year. If we reach the goal sooner, then that would be awesome. And we can move forward with it, and then we can enjoy the benefits of having income going forward and take it another direction. But I need to look at something in the future of about a year out to where we're going to be, and then we'll see where we end up and what we can do. What am I hoping for? I'm hoping to be able to get this project done. Honestly, that's my only expectation, is that we get something out of it at the end. I really don't want this to turn out to be some kind of scam. I'm so 50-50 on this that I'm not really putting much faith in it, so I'm not throwing a lot of money into it, especially since I don't plan on paying out anything for a year and plan on reinvesting for at least a year. So I'm not really pushing for anything. Now, with that being said, I do have an affiliate link in the description. I'm not encouraging you to sign up for this, because honestly, I cannot encourage you, because I do not have 100% confidence in this. Yes, I know people have gotten paid out, but I also know people who get paid out because Ponzi scams don't work if some people don't get money. Eventually the money dries up and nobody gets paid. But I'm not saying this is a Ponzi scam, don't get me wrong, but I am also not willing to say that it is not some kind of scam. So bear that in mind if you do sign up. I have serious doubts about some things, but while this project is open and while this avenue is open to us, I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to try to make it work. I will not devote 110% to it, because I just do not want to throw money away. But I'm willing to give it some effort, and I'm willing to set a goal with it and see where we end up. Hopefully, you'll follow along on my journey with me. In case you're wondering, yeah, I got rid of the intro because I just don't feel like doing them anymore, and I don't think it needs it. Just realize that my journey is going to be different than your journey. You could do the exact same things I'm doing and turn out better or worse. I am just willing to publish my results as to what happens to me on a weekly basis. Again, thank you for watching. If you have any interest in seeing how this works out to buy a car with Bitcoin, definitely subscribe to the series, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. I do the updates on Hashflare on Saturday. I do the updates on world mining on Sunday. So that should help you understand when you should be looking for the videos to come out. Hopefully you find this series interesting, and I will talk to you guys later, because I do not want these to be too long, but I want them to be informative enough. So love to hear what you guys think about this, and let me know in the comments. Check the description for any information, as well as a link to the spreadsheet that I've got, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.